Anybody who's got dual monitors will understand that there's now demand for games that you can play while you're also watching or listening to streams or podcasts or a long YouTube queue. And I've gone through the struggle of finding good variety games for that type before, but I think I finally got some of the best variety games that you can play while having streams, etc. in the background. I've excluded obvious games like Minecraft and Terraria from this list because everybody knows about them. So, without further ado, let's begin. At number 5, there's CLUSTERTRUCK. This game has a limited campaign with user-generated content you can complete, and it's pretty brainless after one point. I've used this game as background gameplay in commentary videos, and I still will because it is such a simple concept that everyone gets it. Basically, you have to jump from one truck to another while they're moving until you reach the goal. The difficulty increases over time with truck speed and obstacles and twists and turns that are included on the track. And initially it is not as easy, but once the difficulty ramps up, you learn the jump timings, you can do it without even thinking, and that's what makes it a great game to complete level after level while you have something in the background. Now each 10 levels the theme changes, which keeps it fresh, and sometimes new challenges are introduced that are relevant to the theme. If I assume a whole Twitch stream is like 8 hours long, and you have plenty of time on your hand, you can pretty much finish the campaign and additional content like holiday-based levels all in one stream. The levels at the later half of the campaign are pretty challenging and fun, so that's where you're gonna spend most of your time in. I'm gonna be honest, the community content is pretty subpar and not something that extends replayability by a lot. It's either really challenging or just lame point farming. And the point farming was really handy in unlocking all the abilities for me. Oh yeah, you can equip 2 abilities out of many that you buy with points to make it easier, but you can finish the game without them as well. At number 4, BOMBERGROUNDS Battle Royale. I feel like this is a heavily underrated game, and when it came out, I thought this was gonna get way more traction than it has currently. So what do you do in this game, and what makes this game great for just playing with something in the background? If you have ever played Bomberman, then this game will seem very familiar as it utilizes the same core game mechanic. So what happens is you and 25 other people are put on a map with 3 bombs that you have to begin with that will regen with time and a melee weapon. You can utilize either of these to kill opponents. Bombs can be used to trap people and kill them, while you can charge the bat and hit anyone in the range to kill them directly. Bombs also help you break crates, which can contain items that boost your level or give you a limited advantage like high speed or special bomb that explodes differently than the regen one. There's no ranked aspect or anything like that, but it's still competitive to some level as you gain XP and advance in levels, which grant you coins, which are in-game currency used to unlock cosmetics. You can also create a party of 3 people and go in a match together, but there's no team versus team. You're solo but in the same match. Now the currency model is not very good as it is also a mobile game, but don't judge the game prematurely because of that. The game is excellent on PC. There's sometimes the issue of rubber banding or lag, but it's not like overtaking completely. However, it can be annoying when it happens in one of those clutch moments. It really feels like this game would be perfect for the Switch. Overall, it is a pretty cool looking game and great to kill some time with, as there's not too much of thinking involved. It's like Connect 4 or Tic-Tac-Toe with an active element. And number 3, Risk Global Domination. I've just started playing this game of recent and I've been having lots of fun with it. I'm not entirely sure how this game works in terms of the rules and whether there are any RNG elements other than just the dice, but it still has some strategy to it. Now this game is about dominating the map, taking over the world with your units among multiple others who are competing to do the same. You get a set amount of units every round, which you can increase by acquiring more territories. The map I like to play is the world map, where you get bonuses for holding continents every round. As the name implies, every move you make, you're taking the risk of your neighbors invading you by getting more units than you or your neighbor's neighbor can invade you, both clearing the whole map. The whole point is to overcome this risk by having enough units that you're unchallenged round after round. You can play with people online, bots on various difficulties, or with your friends, and I think it's limited to a maximum of 6 people per lobby. There's also multiple variations and conditions that you can enable to change up the game, so there's ample amount of content before you get bored of the game. For example, on the world map, you can freeze territories, making it so that no one can take them, or have fog of war, which can limit everyone's vision to only one tile adjacent to the territories. The game does have a ranked aspect to it, but I do not take it seriously. However, I've seen people who are ranked like Grandmaster and Expert and stuff at the game, so if you really want to go hard and strategize, the option is always available. The only downside is, since the game is published by Hasbro, it has one of those mobile sort of models to it where you can't binge on the game. You get one token every 60 minutes and it takes 10 tokens to play one game. The good thing is, you do start with 200 tokens and you get tokens even when you have the game turned off, so it's hard to run out of them if you're a casual player. However, the premium pack does give you unlimited tokens and more maps as well as avatars, and it's a one-time purchase, so it doesn't really feel unfair, as making this game free leaves only a few ways to make money. I personally don't mind it too much as I haven't run out of tokens yet, so I don't know whether I will be buying it or just waiting the tokens out. And number 2, Nova Drift. This is an extremely underrated game that I've been playing for a while now. I've sunk in 100 plus hours in this game, listening to God knows how many podcasts and YouTube. This game has certain roguelike mechanics where each time it's randomly generated enemies, but you're a spaceship. Now the first look you get at it, you'll get some heavy Asteroids vibe, and it is inspired by it, but it's not nearly in the same league. The game has waves after waves of enemies, which is why my favorite is going with the never ending mode and breaking my own records where enemies and bosses never stop coming. You have to build your ship as you go with the points you earn, and the build tree seems thoughtful where you can't just be OP with one strat all the time. It really depends on the playstyle, and lots of builds are viable. In the build menu, choosing one path closes others, so there's always the trade-off, and there's always going to be threats from enemies, mainly bosses that might exploit those weaknesses. Really, the only bad thing that I've got to say about this game is that the controls are not graspable in the start, and lots of people might never open it again because of the unconventional style of controls that they have chosen. The way it is, they've got abilities and acceleration with keyboard, but the direction with mouse as the most viable control scheme when not using the controller. This is done on purpose to kind of simulate the feel of arcade controls, but I do not think that is the main market for this game. As I said, it is its own league, but this is the dev's decision, so be it. Number 1, ShellShock Live. If you have ever played Pocket Tanks or still play Pocket Tanks, well, this is pretty much a more advanced version of that game. You play as a tank on multiple different maps and you have to achieve certain goals in the campaign, which is pretty hard, but once you complete it, it really prepares you for getting a head start in the online multiplayer. Online multiplayer is the main focus of this game, where you can have a lobby of up to 8 people with multiple nodes and variables across various maps or just a completely new generated map. There's heaps of fun that you can have if you play this with your friends, but it's still fun playing online, just you and other randoms. There's a text chat in the lobby and in game, so if you want to play team-based, then you can coordinate well or just use it for trash talk. There's ranked in online multiplayer, so it does get grindy sometimes at the higher levels, but there's plenty of people playing without literally arithmetically calculating every move before doing it. The weapons are really fun with the variety that exists, and different weapons require a different type of usage, so it's not just aim and shoot always. The game's available on Steam, Xbox, and PS4. The only downside would be that the game starts to feel stale after level 85 or something, because it's just doing the same thing but more, and you pretty much know most of the stuff in the game. You can see this is reflected in the XP, as like 90% of the work takes to complete those few end levels. Now, those are your 5 best games in no particular order, but I do have a bonus mention that I want to make here. Bonus mention, Tabletop Simulator. As the name implies, sort of, this game is all about simulating the tabletop. There could be anything on that tabletop really, but this is not a joke game like Grass Simulator. This is a game with all the board games in the world pretty much. There's also VR support, so you can be there fully immersed. I wouldn't advise for having streams in the background with that, but just letting you know. I've played lots of Ludo on it, along with games like Uno and Cards Against Humanity. The voice support is pretty good if you choose to use it, and you can also create games with password protected lobbies or open to public. Playing this with your online friends or IRL friends who can't be together for one reason or another could honestly be pretty fun, as do the IRL board games. Well, That's about it. These are my favorite picks so far, and I would like to know some of your favorites to play with something in the background in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.